Okay, welcome everyone to today's website's meeting call. Today you have a new host. Since our regular host is on some other duty today, I'll be hosting today's call. Let's start off with today's agenda. And to begin with, we have the service mesh patterns, a new website coming up. We have a new design with few volunteers already working on it. So, yeah, over to you, Alexis. You have a new design already upcoming. You want to share with the community?
Nice. And that's for Alexis. Oh, okay. Yeah, great. I think I have to get the
Good
wire.
afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
We will definitely tell you if we can.
Oh, okay. So can I share my screen now?
Sure.
And by the way, we might even have some newcomers to welcome at some point as well.
So this was where we were as of last week, and Deborah assigned some tasks, and she said we should change this body text that was too much, and that we should have a new look for the chapter side. And then we ran into, should I call it a roadblock or bottleneck, in the sense that we are no longer doing a single page but a multi-page. So now the issue was now the site structure and how we would go about that. So Iva is unavailable at the moment, and Bahavia is unavailable on this call contribution as of the last call. And she said that the first page would, we're not doing single page, there is multi-page. So the first page would be just this, and then the second page would now include the meet authors and the chapters. So this was what she said, but the content that is here, she's not responsible for it. It's me that is yet to implement the changes. But what she said was just that the first page would have this side, we just have the introduction, the about, this, who the book is for, and the footer. And then the second page would have the
Wait, Alexis, I think actually, guys, I think we're I hate to interrupt, man. I think we're I don't know why we're redesigning the site. We had 5 pages. They were pretty decent. I think we were missing one page for design, but other than that, Aditya Chatterjee and Nikhil, do you guys know? Alexis, do you guys know why we're doing another draft?
No, well,
can you?
It's just the site structure that was the roadblock per se. That was the only issue, if I can say, if at all. But then Deborah now said we should change the body text that was too much, something like that. So I'm still open to any changes whatsoever. So this is the present one now, but then this was the old one.
Okay, so that was the that was one that was in the middle, that single page design. But where's the original design that had 5-6 pages?
Up here. This one. This.
Nice. I guess it wasn't 5 or 6 pages. There's only 3 that were completed, and then is that it? Did someone take out a page? If you look at the site structure, there's an overview page. Could you mind zooming into the menu? I think my impatience this morning is probably getting the better of me. I don't know why we're spending so much time on that. So there's an overview page, which would be the patterns, the home button, right? The main page. Then there's, if you just stay zoomed in on the menu. Nice. So actually, if you just go into the top, the global navigator, there we go. Yeah, nice. There's a delay on the So that's one page for the overview, another page for book chapters, another page for patterns in action. And then it's a final page that meet the authors and about layer 5 are both combined on. So we could actually probably, combine those into one menu item. So what does that give us? A total of 3, or is it 4? Yeah, wait. 4 pages, right? And then we have 3 of them designed. So a 4th is missing, if I'm reading this correctly. So Alexis, like that, I think that was our starting point for when you had jumped in.
Okay.
And so I get that you're getting feedback probably from a number of different folks. I'll be quite frank with you. There's a very few folks that I trust to have the feedback from. And so be careful before you go spend a ton of time doing redesign. If you zoom out a bit, so what do we have? We're looking for 4 pages. There's a main page, but I think one of the things that you're solving for in a really good way on the main page is just like this wall of text. You're solving for that and making it more interesting, which is great in the design that you were just showing. Then we have the second page, which is book chapters. Okay, there's a half of a design there. Okay. And then patterns in action was pretty much a blank canvas at the moment. Okay, so that's 3. No, yeah, that's 3, right? And then the last one was just the about us. Right, why am I, book chapters, pattern in action, meet the author, yeah. Oh, I was gonna sneeze. Cool, so thanks, that's very helpful for me for just context of kind of where we were a few weeks ago. And hopefully that helps everyone else that's on the call as well. Is like, hey, this is just, by the way, for context, welcome everybody to the call. It's good to have some new people like Adam on the call. Adam, we're going to say hi in a minute. Same with Mubarak. We'll say hi in just a minute. But so there's a new site that we want to put up. It's a static content site. It'll be published on GitHub Pages. It's about a book, and as such, it won't be too in depth, but it'll have more than one page. If you zoom out, Alexis, and give everybody the lay of the land of the site structure. So it's very simple. There's 4 pages total. At least that was the original thought. There would be 4 pages. It might be that as Alexis, and is it Joan that's also working on this, Alexis?
Me, Iva, Bahavia, and then Cambodia, and someone else is helping implement this as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Okay. And it might turn out that the original concept of like 4 pages doesn't really work because of like stuff like the issue on that main page where it's just that wall of text. And so good. Okay. So that's where we were. And Alexis and a few others are, well, iterating on designs so that there's an actual design for the patterns in action. And so that the main page doesn't just turn people off, right, with just text. And so, okay, good. There, that sets the stage for you, Alexis. And then if you want to take it from the top and sort of take people through this, the second set of designs or these new designs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so following the appropriate stacks, and by we, I mean I and Bahavia, but then Iva is unavailable at the moment. We decided to reduce the amount of text and just simply do that. Just make it as how would I put this now? Easily digestible as possible. And then if you want it, then you would have to get the book. And then we had this design of the chapters, and Deborah wasn't having it at all, and she suggested that we change it because there was a lot going on here and it was quite confusing and cumbersome. So I decided to, well, I wouldn't take all the credit for this because during the last call, Cambodge sent a link that referred us to the way those chapters were there. I'm trying to put them here. So that is why I just basically did. I just brought that here and hopefully the chapter site, the chapter design. And then another task was to create a visually appealing call out for the discussion forum.
Okay.
Discussion forum
Let me interrupt, Alexis.
did here. So
What we can have as of now is like looking
I'm
at
waiting for
the about the home page that we have, or the new home page that we have created, the single home page that as per the new design. That looks fine to me. And the second page that is to meet our authors, we can have that to design screen ready and ready to implement it. Is what I feel. Few things to be changed in the design would be like in the footer, we should be using the service the patterns logo instead of layer 5. The in the hero section, the images of the authors need to be aligned properly.
Sorry, can you repeat? You said what logo should be there in place of layer 5?
The patterns logo that you can check the brand page for that. Hold on.
If you remove layer 5 logo and put what? Mesh with.
You will get the link from the brand page.
Yeah, I think Nikhil was saying maybe to put the patterns logo, I think.
Yep.
Okay. And not the not the Meshmate logo, but the patterns logo, which I got a big chuckle out of because Nikhil's like the OG Meshmate. And it just sounded very self promoting. Anyway, Alexis, yeah, sorry to interrupt. I just thought it was funny. Maybe I'll just put that point of feedback. I'll do some note taking, put the point of feedback in Figma for you to consider. Do you want to finish showing the rest of the new designs and maybe we can proceed with people taking implementation tasks, assuming that we're pretty close?
Oh, that's just a using of text and then the new look for the chapters and adding a more visually appealing color for discussion forum and to subscribe to the mailing list. So that's basically it. That's basically it. But then still on the multi-page, we do not, I am still unclear on the site structure, like how we will go about it with that too. So that's why I'm stopped.
Do you have an exact, well, right there, like it's the site structures such as, yeah, let me, I think the lag maybe is causing a bit of a hindrance. Let me, just for lack of, just to try to help us move along quickly. So does everybody have access to Figma that's on the call? I'm going to share a link to the designs that we're looking at so that you all can go take a look as well. That link is to the same designs that Alexis is sharing. If you don't have access to this Figma project, then please say so in chat and give your email address, and you'll get view access. If you've been here for a while and you've kind of convinced the community managers here that you are A, competent and won't delete everything, and B, not malicious, not here with malintent, then you'll get edit access, which would be great, so you can participate. So to answer your question, Alexis, like, hey, I think we don't want the single page design. We already went through that conversation. If we can stay away from that, that would be ideal. In the end, if it only works as single page, like, okay. But hopefully not. So the multi-pages, like for site structure, to answer your question, it is ideally broken down on these boundaries: overview, which is main, book chapters, patterns in action, and then about. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. Overview is like this: what's the book about? Who is it written for? What nuggets might you find? What's the call to action on the page? How are we facilitating the call to action? In this case, it's like, go read the book or buy the book. For my part, I could care less if they buy it or not, in terms of dollars. That's not what the book is about. The chapters, like, hey, if this really is made to be interactive and people can explore and drill down, it probably will take up a fair bit of space. And it becomes clear to them that they're navigating and drilling through a bunch of details just on a single page, especially if it has search and things. It's probably a little easier to keep them, not let them lose their place as they go to do filtering and that sort of a thing. On the patterns in action, the idea here is that what we're doing is telling people, by the way, we should probably put this in bold or something. The patterns in action is to, let me put a comment. Would be about like Meshery. Hey, how do you take the patterns that are in the book and put them and import them into Meshery? What can you do with them once they're in Meshery? We should be showing things like MeshMap. Oh, hey, what do you know? There's instructions about what this page is supposed to be. This page should contain an overview of Meshery and the fact that all patterns can be imported and deployed by Meshery. That sounds like what I just said. We should have sections on that. There should be a video of MeshMap, like showing people how to do that. There should be an overview of the Meshery catalog. So Aditya Chatterjee, will you please put in information about that right now on the call? Mr. Chatterjee, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, nice. Yeah. Thank you. Please put it into the Figma itself, like put additional info that people can get, more than just the URL, but suggest like what info should be included. So the call to action on this page is specifically this, Alexis. So that's what we're looking for, is like, hey, Alexis, on each page, there's a specific call to action. On each page, we've hopefully done a decent job of articulating what it is that the page should convey, what information should be on the page. In this case, it's the authors, layer 5 as a community. We also tossed in the technical reviewers who get a lesser call out, but a call out nonetheless. That's much more than they usually get in any other book. It's usually just their name, and that's it. And that's it, man. Like I could see, Alexis, where the single page design would call your name, because you might be looking at this thinking, well, gosh, there's just, once we break down this text, there's just not that much on the page. Maybe we can combine a couple of pages, which makes some logical sense. If you do, though, begin to have things like what our service mesh is, what's the book about, who is the book for, and that's a decent amount to have on the first page. This, you can have a high level, like, hey, here's an outline, and if you want to know more, anytime they click on any of these, they would be taken to the second page. You know what I mean? You could also, if that wasn't enough for the first page, you could also have things like how to use patterns. And there's just a little section that says, how do you use patterns? Where can I see these in action? And then that would link to the third page. You know what I mean? You could have high level summaries of each of the other pages so that then people can nav over to them. What do you think, Alexis? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I still wasn't pressing on the single page. All I was doing was like I wasn't clear on what each page would look like. But now that I pointed that one on top that I blatantly ignored on purpose, I didn't look at it at all. But now that I have a better understanding of okay, that is what we have to work on, then I'm now clear on what I'm to do, and I would implement changes and share next week ahead of next week's call. Or on the website channel on Slack.
Nice. That's perfect, Alexis. By the way, some good looking stuff happening here. I mean, first of all, there's like green colors in here, which, you know, that's just an instant win, right? just kidding. Bad joke about green. But no, I mean, no, this looks fantastic. This is great. This looks great. Fantastic. You guys even rounded. Yeah. Anyway, lots of really nice stuff to point out about what you guys are doing, how you're like. We will sing your praises very shortly. I think just as soon as you share your next update, there's probably a ton of things to call out that is really nice about what's happening. I'm going to shut up here in about 2 seconds. There's a couple of things we should do. We should pause and allow some room for everybody else to express some opinion, ask some questions about different sections of what's being designed, other people to go into Figma, and to perhaps we would put individuals' names about maybe if an individual is doing an entire page, or if they're just working on one section, that might be one way of sort of identifying that Kamal is working on this and somebody else and somebody else. That might help drive some clarity, just even for those that sort of drive by and, so to speak, they kind of look at the designs. It'd be clear that certain sections are being implemented and maybe others aren't. So I encourage all of you that are on the call now, do you have feedback for the design and those that might implement? Do you have sections that you might want to take?
Hello, I just have a question that in the pattern in action page, did we put a video or a slideshow on that page?
My goodness, I heard I have a question and then I missed the next part.
Okay, so I was just saying that on the patterns in action page, will we put a video or a slideshow on that page?
Yeah, I think that's about right. That people can take these patterns and import them into the Meshery tool, and then they can manipulate the patterns and deploy them. And so, yeah, having a video that shows that is probably helpful, or doesn't have to be. If we want to just describe it and show some screenshots or something, that could work as well. It's nice to have video. And so were you asking that question, by the way, because you have some video editing chops, some skills? Skills with a Z, by the way. Because if anybody is able to edit video more than just trimming and fading between, you know, like if that's anyone's study, there's a lot of different video things that we want to do. And so between kind of Adobe After Effects and Adobe Premiere, if those are tools of comfort, you know, please raise your hand. What other feedback is there for Alexis?
I don't have much feedback apart from this, that I think we have like two of the pages ready which could be implemented by the contributors. Is what I think. Like apart from the chapters page and the patterns in action, I think we can have about our authors and the home page ready to be implemented completely. All the sections.
Alrighty. Does anybody want to raise their hand on this page or on a particular section? We're going to start the bidding out at $10. $10. Anybody? $10? $10. $11. What's that, Kamal? Well, that would be lovely. That would be. I can't believe you raised your hand. You never raise your hand. You never volunteer for anything. So anyway, this could be a decent way of maybe tracking, who's thinking about taking on a section. Or if there's a different way of doing that, we could. But yeah, grab yourself a slice of the site. Certainly go see Alexis about if you have questions, and Nikhil, if you can't tell that those two guys are into this pretty heavily. So with that, Alexis, I'm pretty darn sure the next designs that you'll have, they probably don't really need my comment on there. I'll probably only get in and give you a bunch of opinions and sort of like slow down the works. It's probably more like Nikhil or Devopriya that can make the final call or help conclude. So we might not want to even include me in that. Nikhil has some some scars he can tell you about.
I have got a special name on doing so. If you know, like there are few more people who already know that I have a color blindness issue, though it is improving day by day. But yeah. Anyways, I think if no one has any other feedback, we are good to proceed with the other sections. And before that, I think we have a couple of newcomers on the call. So we have a couple of newcomers on the call. Would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself? Starting with,
Hi. Hello. Do you hear me?
yeah, we can hear that. Go ahead.
Do you see me as well or not?
There he is. Oh yeah, he's just the classic black and white stripes, man. Looking sharp.
So you are able to hear me and see me?
Yep, both. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hi guys. My name is Adam. Yeah, I came here from the email basically. So I even don't know what I'm up to. Like basically, I want to participate in open source and learn Golang. So this is my point of interest. I see you have a lot of articles. Sorry?
Oh no, Adam, that's just an accidental. Please continue, Adam. That was just an accident.
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to participate in open source. You see, I can see you have a quite big community with a lot of articles, how to do this, stuff like that. So before I just I just need to get to know with those things, and maybe after a few calls I will find something that I can just grab and start doing. Yeah. Some of my background, I'm graduated from computer science. Have like almost 4 years of commercial experience working with a Python, Java, JavaScript as well, some React stuff, and Next.js. Yeah, so that's pretty everything. Yeah, I can just pass my voice to the others.
Nice. Yeah, Adam, that's great, man. Hey, by the way, where are you calling in from? Where are you located?
Yeah, so from Europe. I'm from Poland, but basically I'm kind of a digital nomad. So yeah, right now my time zone is Europe, but in 1 month it's more US time zone. I'm going to some islands like Martinique, it's Caribbean island. On February I'm going to Asia, so yeah, it's mixed.
Yeah, geez. Okay, well, just rub it in, Adam. I mean, geez, man, the Caribbean islands. Like, okay, fine. Next time I'll know better than to ask you where you are. So I'll just.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's great of you to jump in and just. Yeah. So there's if you do check out the Zoom chat, there's a couple of pointers for you to kind of get hooked in and navigate around. Well, Golang in specific, but. And
yeah, definitely. Will do.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Awesome. Adam, good to have you. Good to have. We have another newcomer on the call, maybe.
So, hello everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, yes.
So, hi, I am Devesh and I'm from India. And I'm currently pursuing computer science at NIT Jalandhar. So, this is my first ever meet in this website meetings, and also my first ever experience in open source. My tech stack includes both front-end and back-end technologies like React and Munstack. So I'm looking forward to learning new things and contributing a lot to this community. And I hope to meet a lot of amazing people also. Thank you.
That's nice to hear. You will definitely get to know a lot of amazing people. Anyone else? Yeah, okay. Your voice is very feeble. Okay. So we get Adarsh. Would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself? If that's today's your first call.
Hey Nikhil, although it's not my first call, then yeah, I've been attending a few of the meets lately. But if that's okay, I'd like to go out of the introduction. All right,
Okay.
sounds good. So, hey everyone, I'm Adarsh from Bangalore, India. I'm currently in my second year of college. I'm pursuing computer science, and I think it's been around 2 weeks since I joined Meshery. And so far, I've got like 2 PRs done. And my tech stack I'm more of a front end guy, so like React, Next, all that is my kind of domain. Uh, so yeah, I'm looking forward to taking up issues so that I can dive deeper into the code base. Thank you.
Adarsh, that's great, man. That's awesome. Second year, computer science. You just need some glasses, like put the kind of get the nerd effect going on. That's great.
Yeah.
Good. We've got vibe. Well, gosh, man, Nikhil, can you enunciate vibe Bishit? No, Bob. Oh my
Vaibhav,
gosh.
it's Vaibhav.
Wow.
It's Vaibhav, if you say. Vaibhav, if you are new, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself? Okay. Seems like he's a bit shy. So, anyone else would like to take the mic and introduce themselves to the team before we move ahead? Seems no. Okay, then let's move to the next agenda item. We have a pull request from Kamal for the Navba, which is almost ready. Would you like to share your screen and demonstrate it, Kamal?
You can share it again.
Okay, cool. I think there have been a couple of changes requested by the OPR recently. So yeah, we have that. Think we would be good to go. It looks like it's coming, though there have to be some changes. Like this border needs to go away from the get it now button. There shouldn't be this border. The nav item should be much more closer, like similar to what we have for the layer 5 site. The patterns logo needs to be like the size needs to be increased a bit, and the nav bar should be sticky. Like when you scroll down the page, it should stick down. Apart from that, there are responsiveness issues which we have already pointed out. That's all for the nav quality. Does anyone else has anything else to add on to it? Okay. Taking that as no. Kamal, was that feedback good? Like, do you have any other questions?
Sorry, I'm not able to hear. Are you saying something to me?
Uh, I said the feedback that I gave was that audible.
Yeah, that was audible. and I do watch the recordings again also.
Okay, okay, cool. I think the navbar is coming soon. We should have something good by the next call. So let's move ahead. You're working on the about section also, but the design still under review. It's at halt. Okay, that's all with the service mesh pattern side. So moving ahead to the layer 5 side, we have a UX update to incorporate the MeshMark the page. Is anyone working on this? Okay, Kanika, I just see you have added a link.
Yes, yeah, I just forgot to add my name. So let me just share my screen.
Sure.
Okay, so as I was working on the update design to incorporate the MeshMark, and these were two of the designs. Let me just, yeah. So these were two of the designs. These were two approaches which I was thinking of. This is the first one and this is the second one. In the first one, we do have a video, like a demo video for MeshMark. Okay, and in the second one, we don't have any video or the demo video. It will be like the user will click on this button, like the visit MeshMark, and then he will be redirected to a page which is specifically for MeshMark, the detailed information for MeshMark. And these two pages and these, like this design contains only the summary for MeshMark. So I was I just want some suggestions on which of the two approaches would look good. Because as I had a conversation with Lee, and he suggested that a demo video for this page would be really nice. So, and I thought that I think a demo video may also look good for on the main page of MeshMark. So basically, these are two of the approaches, and I would love to have all the suggestions.
Okay. So first of all, as Lee pointed out, I think you have implemented the design on the wrong site. It should be under layer5.io.
Yes, actually, for this, I actually asked, like when I was assigned this issue, I asked, I think some person, I think Gaurav, to like, where should I add this design, this particular design of Figma? So he sent me the link of this particular, so I added it here. But I will change it. I will just add it into the layer 5, the layer 5 Figma design.
Yeah, because apart from that, I think the hero section needs to be updated. The video that you are planning to implement, that could go into the hero section. If not the video, we could have a thumbnail into the hero along with a title, and the video could go at the bottom where you have as of now in the first iteration of the design.
Sorry, could you just please repeat?
Yeah, so I was saying that when you update the design, that is moved to the layer 5 site, layer 5 Figma design, the hero section that we have for this page, that could have a thumbnail of the MeshMark implemented. That is one in which you have in the right design, right Figma design. That could be there in the hero section along with the title, that is MeshMark, and some small text. Below that, we could use the MeshMark video that we have and continue with the rest of the design in the first iteration. Like once you have that design implemented, then I think we can discuss if any other changes are required.
Okay, fine.
Cool. Anyone else has any other feedback for Kanika?
Yeah, but by the way, I mean, anybody on the call is welcome to give feedback. Hopefully, like in a lot of respects, any of you, any one of you are a good judge of like a page like this, because the point of the page is to explain to you what MeshMark is and what it means and why you should pay attention to it. And so after you look at it, if it doesn't answer those three things, then feedback is good.
Actually, I have a suggestion if I'm audible. So, like, I had a suggestion like on the page where the video is. So, if we move our cursor on that video, can we add an animation like the video will come in the center and it will be on the focus? Kind of.
I heard about the video part and then the animation part. Could you just repeat?
I was saying just that while we hover on the video, can the video come in the center and would be in the
I think I'm not able to listen.
Like, the rest of the background goes somewhat blurred.
Hey, Kamal.
And the
Hey,
video comes in
Kamal,
the,
I don't know if you can hear me, Kamal. I'm gonna keep talking just to try to get my voice in there. Because I'm sure that you can't hear it because of but Kamal, you're not audible, unfortunately. Do put your feedback into text drop it into the meeting minutes if you would, or into the Zoom chat. That'll work. Other than that, if you guys have feedback on what's being designed here, please see Kanika. With that, let's go to the next agenda item.
Okay, so the next item is solution for interactive labs. I think there were some discussions around killer coda, but I'm not sure if we have any updates around it. Lee, do we have anything around it?
Yeah, so wait, did you say killer coda or catacoda?
Like Catacoda is the current one, but I think Gaurav
Oh.
or I don't remember who else suggested killer coda as the alternative to Catacoda, but there were some issues in the implementation.
Oh, yeah.
Posting it in localhost with all the services and all.
Nice. Yeah. And Subedi, Aditya Subedi, who's on the call, is certainly one of those individuals. Yeah. So by the way, for everybody that's on the call, there's a healthy set of learning material that's out on the Layer 5 IO website. There's a few interactive labs. There's an entire, like, 2 sets of learning paths about service meshes, and those learning paths and those interactive labs, they're built on Catacoda. Catacoda is a tool and a company that was acquired by O'Reilly about 2.5 years ago. And they, in the last couple of months, had decided to shut down the public-facing kind of free service, where you can go do an interactive lab like what you're seeing on the screen here. I think maybe they're grandfathering in. Maybe they're not allowing you to create new ones. They still have something public here. It's a bit, so I'm a bit confused, kind of like, Subedi, is it the case that the existing labs will continue to work? Do you know?
Like it's we cannot run anything inside the containers. Like they have kept themselves, they will use it for internal use only. Public ones,
Okay.
Instructions will still be visible, but will not be able to run anything inside.
I see. They're tired of people crypto mining.
Yeah, that's exactly what they said in their blog.
Oh yeah. Oh, did they? Oh, okay. Shit, I was kidding. Yeah. Okay. Man, I had my chance too. I should have. Anyway, which is understandable. There's a lot of businesses. Actually, there's a big announcement from Heroku, which was acquired by Salesforce some time ago. Heroku's shutting down their free tier offering, which is unpopular with some and is popular with other. Anyway, businesses have to go through that. So to the question, though, well, shoot, what do we do? And we've got these interactive labs that we've invested into, these learning paths that we've invested into. What are the alternatives out there for Catacoda? Subedi has a list of those. I mean, one of those is like Instruct. Killer Coda has popped up, obviously trying to sound a lot like Catacoda and be kind of a Catacoda replacement. There's the playwithdocker.com or playwithkubernetes.com that could potentially be used. Docker is a partner of Layer 5s. As a matter of fact, I don't know how many of you know this. I think Nikhil would remember. Meshery itself was started on playwithdocker.com. Like we used to be teaching people workshops about service meshes, and we would say, hey, if you don't have a local system, go to this site and we'll show you how a service mesh works. And then we just started building software. We started building Meshery. So it's kind of funny that Meshery was born sort of in that type of an environment. So the problem still stands. Like, what do we do? Well, so speaking of Nikhil Lada, who's hosting the call, there's a site, play.meshery.io, that some of you have contributed to already. It's a very simple site at the moment. The concept here is that so the labs that you can walk through, whether it was the interactive lab or just the written labs, those labs you can you use Meshery to deploy different service meshes and configure service meshes and learn about them. So the concept behind play.meshery.io is that, well, we can run an instance of Meshery, host an instance, allow visitors to come by and walk through the labs using Meshery. So like in a lot of respects, or in all respects, people can do that today. You can go to the labs, run Meshery, follow the written word of the lab, and then do that in Meshery, just running on your own system. It's good that actually works. If we want to make it even all that much more convenient and just run Meshery for you, provide you this cloud native playground and show you labs, kind of just like you might see on Katacoda.com or whatever it was. Here's the issue with this. And so this is an early initiative. This is one that will take us a while. There are any number of people who've signed up on the form. They're interested in exploring the playground when it's ready. There's a couple of reasons why it's not ready just yet. One is because, well, we need a few contributors who are focused on DevOps, like on running and hosting an instance of Meshery, because it'll need, as a SaaS, as a playground, it'll need a little bit of help. The other reason is because Meshery, so just like Katacoda, well, if we're hosting an instance of Meshery, can people come do Bitcoin mining there? No, they shouldn't be able to. No, yeah, they could. They could with the way that Meshery works, now that I think of it. So that's the thing, is we have to go through and make sure that people aren't, it'll be some work to make sure that people aren't abusing it. And anyway, the short answer is, ideally, what we have is something bespoke. This concept, ideally, we're moving from Katacoda to here. And there's a list of things for us to do. It's a whole project. It's something that we can talk about on this call. And in the meantime, it probably is appropriate of us to very quickly put up messages or notifications in the various areas that these things are exposed to say Katacoda is no longer available. The labs are still highly useful. Simply deploy Meshery locally and follow along the labs on your machine. And that will be a stopgap until we can. Now, do you guys, Subedi, do you remember all the places where the labs are exposed?
I do remember two. One is the Layer 5 website and the Docs website. And I think, no, yeah, there's none on the Meshery website. So yeah, I remember two.
And there's good. I think that's, I think you got it all. There's two places on the Layer 5 website. And then, the doc. And then for those that have come through either participating in or looking to participate in the LFX internships that the community offers, there's a task in there that says, hey, go familiarize with the project, and to do so, run these interactive tasks. And so Meshmate Aditya Chatterjee has been stepping in to manage that program. And so, Aditya, that's another good point. We'll need to change the ask of what people do. They can still do the labs, they just need to do it locally.
We can ask them to go to the website. Probably that's same as what we have in the labs.
Nikhil, your voice cut. You said we can ask them to go through
the learning paths.
The learning paths, yeah.
The learning paths. They can go through the learning paths as well.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, I think we do have, I think Subedi, that was your idea that I used, by the way, which was, hey, the labs, the content is still good. Just use your own environment to do it. So I'm just parroting your words back to you. We should go let people know to do that. I think that's great, great solution.
Okay, so moving ahead to the next study, there is need of volunteers to update the content for each integration. We have the integrations up and ready, like it's almost ready, is what I could say. But there's still some things need to be done for the individual integrations. Yeah.
Yeah. So on this, yeah. By the way, there is this issue in Safari where, and this is for those that have access to Safari on the call. There's an open need for. Well, I don't think you can see it replicated here, but there's an open issue that has a video clip where when you hover and your mouse moves from one hexagon to the next, there's this undesired adverse effect on the rest of the honeycomb, like on the rest of the cells. And so if you are running Mac OS and so you have access to Safari, your help is needed. And so Subedi, that's potentially something for you to have a look at. So the effect is difficult to kind of see through Zoom, but if you look at that issue 3104, you'll see the.
Okay, so in hovering one, it flickers others also, others honeycomb also.
Exactly.
Okay. I think probably it is because how we are updating the background color. It might be the cause. Like for each honeycomb, how we are updating the background color as a border. That might be why others are getting affected. But yeah, someone with some Mac OS could check that out. So while we have that, we are in need of volunteers to add info for each of the integrations that we have. As of now, they are using like some generic placeholder data, which is same in all of them, but we would require it to be updated respective to the respective integrations. Only a couple of them have the correct data as of now. Lee, do we have any place where the contributors could reference to while getting the data?
Yeah, it's mostly, yeah. I mean, it's mostly the docs.meshery.io that publicly kind of describe some of these integrations. There is a deeper set of content that's inside of the design specs in the shared community drive. I'll admit that it's might be a tough pill for some of us I admit that like it ultimately will probably take somebody who's highly familiar with the technology to write those up. I wish that it was a different answer. That said, each of the integrations on the Layer 5 IO site, there should be a reciprocal link, or there should be a page in Meshery docs that does, if there isn't a page that represents that integration, that means we should open up an issue in Meshery docs to describe the integration. There's another request I think that's out there. So this is like Harshita, you might want to take this one, but see how when you do a search, you're getting results back in English and Spanish. We had a Spanish translation at one point and it just fell too far behind. And so we don't want to delete the work, but we also don't want to show results in Spanish. So that's a Jekyll-centric challenge, if you're interested.
Yeah, sure. I'm currently working on these, like the issue where the bullet points are overriding with the icons on this Safari and Chrome. And I'll take up this as well. I would love to.
Nice. That's awesome. Hey, yeah, while you're in there, while you're fixing some search items, maybe there's another one for you. Yeah, that's great.
Okay. Okay. So that moves us. Yeah, we were saying. I think.
Oh, yeah, just one last update for me. I know we're at time. Is Chatterjee, we've released the .6 version of Meshery. Yay! And so now we need to snapshot the docs.
Yep.
And so,
Yeah, I saw the task. Yeah.
I guess this is what Lee's referring to.
yeah.
Also, just to mention, yeah, so when I first did the versioning, I kind of did it quite stupidly. So, like the version, the V4, it's actually V4.0.0, not not the last release of version 4. So, yeah,
Oh,
so
I see.
yeah. So I'll do all of them again.
Yeah, how silly was that? That's just, I just, I'm just kidding. No, actually, that makes perfect sense to me. But yeah, with the way that we've been doing it, yeah, you're right. That's a great point to snapshot like the last, yeah. Nice.
Okay. Cool. I think since we are over time for today, we can cover up the rest of the items in the next video. Yeah, that would be all for today. Thank you everyone for joining. See you all in the next call, either be it websites call or any other call in the community.
Nikhil, by the way, I forgot to say, I keep forgetting, we're going to do a workshop on learning service mesh this Wednesday. So instead of the Meshery development call, we'll do like a 2-hour workshop on learning to service mesh. So everybody's welcome to come. There'll be a calendar item out there for that. So just a quick announcement.
Cool. We don't have the link for it already. Like it would be sent out shortly.
I don't. I think Chatterjee will probably make sure that happens. I don't have. Yeah, I don't think it's been released yet. I don't know.
Okay. Make sure, guys, to attend that workshop, and you will get to know a lot about how Meshery works and how to build apps with. Cool. See you, everyone, in the workshop. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye.